was a one-man show. There was a time where people used to give away their secrets to bookies in gambling, like Mohammad Azharuddin. I should not name them. And they would say, okay, I will play 6 balls and after that I will get out, or I will miss these 4 catches. And then Sachin was the person who used to lead our Indian team single handedly, not just through people, bad people around him, but through storms and whatnot. And on the other hand, Kamli had better records than him. Same teacher, Ramakant Achrekar, same. It's like having a parable where you have the same guru but 2 different disciples. Kamli can't even walk right now. One day he was found on the road couple of months or years back. Can't even walk. And this guy became the god of cricket. Nobody can beat his record. Nobody. Maybe in time to come. Virat Kohli wanted to do that, but he could not. I'm not blaming them. It's hard. It's not that very easy. We also want to think like this. We also want to sit here in the class and say, oh, this guy doesn't know how to bowl in the IPL. I've told you earlier. Go to the stadium. Stand in there. Let the DJ play the music. And then just focus on the ball. Nobody in this class can do it. It requires skills, man. It requires consistency. Sachin Tendulkar, through the thick and thin of his life, every single day he was in practice. There are videos out there that when it is raining, when the streets are drenched in Mumbai, you cannot even walk out. People would say, you cannot play today. The grounds are full with water, but still he will be on the ground. And that is what is required. That is why consistency beats talent. Okay, that is when you have put good head on your shoulders. You can have talent. But the talent can come only handy for a couple of weeks or days or months. And then we are talented in sleeping. What talent we have? And then we think we have talents. So head on shoulders. Which 2 examples? Sachin Tendulkar and Kamli. Kamli was a superstar. Better records. Everything better. But Sachin woke up every single day. So the father is saying, if he keeps his head on his shoulders, if they look after him properly, who looks after them? The coach, the team, the management. But even after, so your teachers, your parents, your loved ones want to look after you. But do you want them to look after you? No, you sneak out. Like Kamli sneaked out. And then he said, oh, God was not right with me. God is always right. You say you are on the side of the God, but you are not on the side of the God. For you to be on the side of the God, you have to work. You have to pray. You have to give your every single bit to do the right thing, of course. And then you survive. So, lot of distractions. So, you will see a lot of these music stars, these dance stars, they are one song wonder and then they lose everything. They do things that you can't even imagine a good man can do. And then what do you need? If you want to be a person who has some long-term goals, they need to have head on their shoulders. Kamli could have become the god of cricket. He had better skills. But no. Head on shoulders. I have repeated in this class that there were bowlers. Shane Warne. There was this bowler, Brad Hogg. In multiple test matches, he would bowl to Tendulkar in a way where he would get out. And every single time he would get out, what he would do is he would go back, watch the videos of how he would play, and then make sure he would keep his brother, who was his constant companion on his side, Ajit Achrekar, we don't know. He had a mentor. Do you know who is the biggest mentors of Sachin Tendulkar? Ajit Achrekar. His brother, elder brother. He sacrificed his entire life for Sachin Tendulkar. That is what teachers do over here for you. Entire life. He did not do anything else. What he would do? He would watch every single match, every single player in detail. He would get the cassettes. And after every match, they would sit together and he would say, Sachin, you made a mistake over here. Now, can somebody in our world tell us that you are making a mistake? If somebody comes and tells us, He'll say, oh, Prajwal sir, stupid. He wants to point out my mistakes. And that is where a mentor comes in. That is where a good friend comes in. That is where a good teacher comes in. And that is when you can keep your head on your shoulders. What are we understanding over here? One idiom. To keep good head on shoulders. If you keep it today, tomorrow you don't keep it, does not matter. You have to keep it consistently over a long period of time. That is when you become somebody like this. So Danny Casey is as good as comparable to Sachin Tendulkar. But what does the father say? He knows life. He knows that there are many good people, there are many good students in this class who came and went by. But some could do it, some could not. Why? Because some wanted to do. And some wanted to just dream. Wanted to, work on the next food available item available there. Or wanted to see the next cricket match. Or wanted to play sports under the lights or in the daylight with the lights on. Where they were supposed to do something else. And that is why you don't succeed. So, a lot of distractions in the form of old and unhealthy and over darkened ways. We had discussed this. Yes or no? You get money, people will just come to you so that you can spend your money. And then they will teach you the things that you should not be learning. A youngster in the game these days. And then Geoff says, he'll be alright because he's a fan. He'll be alright. He's with the best team in the country. Like Kamli was also with the best team in the country. He was playing for India. I think he had broken the record of 300 test runs. If I'm wrong, I don't know. Brian Lara was the guy, he had broken his record first. Then Tendulkar. He was the first. But it's not about being first one time. It is about being consistent over a long period of time. If you want to do something great. You don't invent science in one day. You don't open business in one day. You don't become great in one day. You have to keep your head on your shoulders. And if somebody tells you this, head on your shoulders, you have a good head on your shoulders, it is a compliment. When I was working, I had received such a mail from my top boss saying, Ashish, that was my previous name. If I have the email, I'll show it to you. You have amazing head on your shoulders. It's a compliment, but not easy to get. It is a compliment, not very easy to get. Did Sachin have a good head on his shoulders? Yes. That is why what did he become? He is no god, but they call him the god of the game. He's called the god of Chalo.
He is very young yet.
He is very young yet, right? And who is saying this? He is older than I am. Too young really for the first team. You can't argue with that sort of ability. So, maybe this is spoken by Sophie. Because the conversation is being taken away from her. Yes or no? She wants to join the conversation. Because who brought Danny Casey into the living room? Sophie, because she wants to talk about Danny Casey. But does she want to talk about Danny Casey the Sachin Tendulkar way we talked about it? That he is my idol, he is young, he is talented, he shows up for the match every single day. So I am going to make sure I am going to make 5 designs and I am going to go to a designer school. Does she talk like that? No. Conversation is completely different. I met, what do you mean? I met Elon Musk. I read his book. I have not met him. But I have met him. Because I have read his book. That is different. This is her silly stories. You can't argue with that sort of ability. What is maybe Geoff telling over here is that he is going to become the, this is the word you use, right? Greatest of all times. Sir, I am the goat. Yeah, you're Bakri. And then Gunadidanan Swamini વાત. That if you are a Bakri, then વાડામાંથી સી બકરીના બચ્ચાને ક્યારે ઉપાડી જાય ખબર પડે. આપણે એવા છે કબૂતર જેવા. You have to work, you have to be consistent. Otherwise the lion will come and take you from the herd of sheep like anybody. Like they took away Kamli. And then this is a parable for bad habits, distractions. having a lot of money, problems. Chal.
He is going to buy a shop. Sophie said from the table.
He's going to buy a, like, somebody tells you something like that. They meet you and they tell you, oh, I am going to buy this shop. Is Danny Casey going to buy a shop? And if he meets, even in real life, to Sophie one time like a fan, he's going to tell her that he's going to buy a shop over here in the city. So again, Sophie is left out of the conversation, and we know how far she can go of dreaming. She says he's going to buy a shop. Right? Now the father is going to get more angry because now this is a blatant lie. Yes or no? What is blatant? Straightforward. You are figured out as soon as you open your mouth. You know that this is a lie. Like you say that, sir, I want to study, but you are not studying all day. It's a blatant lie. What do you mean by study? You should have a pen in hand. You should have the notebook in hand. You should be doing something. But if you are just sitting like that and say, I study, sir, it's a blatant lie. Sitting is not studying. You have to move in your head and in your hands. Chalo. So father is going to get angry because she is lying, and you met Virat Kohli in VR Mall and he said, oh, I'm here because I'm going to buy this store. As if he's going to tell you those things. Suppose he came out. Suppose you got an autograph. Yes? But will he tell you that he's going to buy this store or he's going to buy this mall and that is why he's come here? Does he talk to strangers like that? No, nobody does. We also don't. We go to a mall and we call a stranger and say, we are going to do this. Do we? Chal.
Her father grimaced. Where did you hear that?
Father gave an ugly expression. Where did you get that? Wow. Where do you make these stories up from? Right?
He told me so.
Now, he told me so. She's coming back in the conversation. Remember? The conversation started with she met Danny Casey, and then it went to Tom Finney and Danny Casey, and now she is left out, so she needs attention. There are many people in the world who just want other people's attention. They don't want to do anything else. They just want to follow them, ask them questions, and then don't do anything. Many. Why? Because that's how you are trained to do things. I told you, attention. How do you get attention? By doing the work. By doing the work. But not by following people. Chal.
He muttered something inaudible and dragged himself round in his chair.
What is inaudible? Why do they put beep sounds in some videos? What is inaudible? Generally a curse word. But you cannot say that to a young lady. Yes or no? Why? Because he knows he is frustrated, or a bad word. Yes or no? Because he wants to explain to this little girl that she should not be talking like this, or she should not be making these silly, wild stories in her head. But what can he do? He cannot do anything. This girl is crazy. And dragged himself round in his chair. This is another of your wild stories. So, in the chapter, we have been only told by the author one of her wild stories. Imagine. Earlier, she would have met Michael Jackson or whatever, Bonnie M or whatever. Or Justin Bieber before he was born. Sir, you know all of this? I know far more than you. It's just that I put a Tilak channel so you feel like I'm a stupid. I know far more than you. You don't even know how much I know. Coming back to the point. She met him in the arcade, Geoff said, and told him how it had been, and he explained everything. Do you think dad is going to like all of that? No, because all of that is a lie. Chalo.
One of these days you are going to talk yourself into a load of trouble. Her father said aggressively.
Why somebody gets themselves in a load of trouble by doing this? Because they are lying. And then in Hindi they say एक सच को छुपाने के लिए और एक झूठ बोलना पड़ता है, और उसको छुपाने के लिए और एक झूठ बोलना पड़ता है, और उसको छुपाने के लिए और एक झूठ बोलना पड़ता है. And then if you pile up yourself with lies, what is going to happen to you? You are going to get caught. And when you are going to get caught, you are going to be in trouble. Simple. And then we lie. We discussed. Who is Sophie lying to the most? Herself. She is lying to herself. And like that is what we do all day long. We lie to ourselves. You are not awake in the class. Your eyes show that you are not present in the class. And you say, no, I will do great things in life. No, you cannot. No. Your habits have not changed. Unless you change your habits, you are not going to be able to do it. Sachin had to change his habit. He made the game, he is God. So even though he knew that the grounds would be filled with water, he still went to the ground. Was the ground going to be empty by afternoon if it was drenched with rain? No. Still he went. Why? He could have done something else. That is what being loyal to your work means. How are you loyal? So she's lying. And she's lying to whom? Like we lie to ourselves every single day. Chalo.
Geoff knows it's true. Don't you, Geoff?
Now, she's taking... Dad is saying something, she's saying, see, Geoff knows it's true. Now, we want to know and we want to write down that Geoff is a very good brother. Geoff is the support system for Sophie. If Geoff would not listen, then who would listen to Sophie? So we know that, sometimes in our family, they know that this guy is stupid. But what can they do? God gave them that stupid member, like Prajwal sir, in their house. So they have to bear with them. They have to bear with them. What do? They just bear with them. They just survive. They don't say anything. So, Geoff is the support system for Sophie. Do you think he's a kind brother? A nice brother? She knows that Sophie is stupid, makes wild stories. Still, he listens to her, which is the greatest of the greatest things. And then, whenever she gets into trouble, whom does he refer to? Geoff. See, Geoff knows. He's right. She's right. Got it or didn't get it? Yes or no? And then father also knows. What does the father say? He don't believe you. He doesn't believe in you. Don't is wrong over here, but don't take it wrong. Somebody in a grammar class would come and say, sir, it should be he doesn't believe in you. Don't teach me grammar. Literature is like that. Sometimes it is spoken in the way the language is spoken. So sometimes you may find that while I am speaking, I may speak a wrong grammar word here and there. I am not doing it purposefully. This is how communication happens. So here it should be, he doesn't believe in you. Yes or no? Don't is not wrong completely, but more better is he doesn't. So he is not a grammar. He doesn't believe in you. Though he lied to. He lied to believe in you, but he doesn't believe in you. He is your support system. And sometimes, our biggest problem is that the people who like us the most, who care about us the most, who want to do good things for us the most, those are the people we create fights with. And we like people who just give us things which we should not have, or which we don't need to have, or they are not going to help us. And that is where we shift away the good people away from us in our lives, and that is a very bad thing. Are you getting the point or not getting the point? Clear or not clear? Chalo, head bike and read from the book. So now the scene is changing. Over here, write down. This is another scene. This is in the room. It is in Geoff's room. Geoff's room. Amber means yellow. There are two types of lights that we see, yellow and white. Amber, yellow. So, why did Sophie pick Cassie? We go back to the previous class. Remember? Sophie wants to talk with Geoff. Geoff would not talk with her because she distracts him, brings some wild stories. He is busy with his work. But Sophie needs to find avenues where she can talk with Geoff, and which is nice. So in the bedroom of Geoff, where he's working on his motorcycle part, there is a big poster of United. United is the team. United First is the name of the team over here. It might be completely fictional. And in there, they have the entire team picture. And there are 3 new stars in there. And one of them is Cassie. And that is why she picks up Cassie. So that she knows brother likes the team. She knows brother likes the player. She knows brother talks about them. So she brings in Cassie. Not just that she is not interested in Cassie because he's a superstar, but also because brother likes Cassie, so that she can start a conversation. That is how people start conversation. Yes or no? Even if you don't want to, you just say, oh, how does this chemical formula work? And then you are not interested in chemical formula. You're just interested in small talk. Chal. So when she told Geoff the story, so here she has already told Geoff the story of her meeting with Danny Cassie. Where? In the arcade. And then she says, promise you will tell no one, Sophie said. Barabar? To whom? Geoff. Okay.
Nothing to tell is there.
There is nothing to tell because he does not believe in her.
Promise Geoff, Dad murder.
Dad would murder me. Dad would murder me. Why Dad would murder her? Because she speaks like this. She makes stories. And silly stories.
Only he thought it was true.
Does Dad believe in her? Does anybody believe in her?
Please, Geoff.
So, now when you know that you are lying, and when you know that the other person also knows you are lying, and you talk like this, and the person listens to you, don't you think Geoff is a very good brother? And that is why we are bringing his character sketch out. Remember, in the exam they can ask us that Geoff is a very good brother. Sometimes teachers know that this guy is asking silly questions or this guy is just wasting their time, but they still continue. Or they know that, they say they want to study, skip their sports time or come for self-study, and they're still not doing the work. But they'll still not tell you. Why? And parents would never tell you. And the modern parents, they would never. Because they feel you are a prince. But otherwise you should be smacked. So that the head comes into your head. So that the head which is somewhere else comes on the shoulder. But that does not happen. Chalo. And now he is making it very clear, like we had discussed yesterday. He makes it very clear that if you are interested in the guy, you are not going to be able to get close to such a guy because he's a very big guy. Are you getting my point or not? Yes or no? He puts, apart from all the nonsense she does, Geoff is so practical, he talks straight to her. And what does he say? He say, Christ, Sophie, he names God and said, you are still at school. You are a small girl. And this guy, maybe he's in college, his university is too big for you. And he must have so many other girls that may be his fans of older age. So don't think like this about him. So he also makes it the other part clear. Physical, emotional. Samajh pade se, everybody understands. And we are also like this. We get stuck on things that we should not get stuck on. Samajh pade se? Again the same parable. Sachin Tendulkar never got lost in such things. So, what do you think? He doesn't have a family? Later on? Huh? He was one of the first persons to have Ferrari in our country. Number of awards that he has, we can't even count. And look at how people gave him the title God of Cricket. Was it announced? Is it public? Is he like given that award by the government that he is God of Cricket? No. People had to say it about him. And then, can anybody take it away from him? If he has achieved that once, Nirmal, can anybody take that away from you? Nobody can take it away. Even right now, if he loses all his money and he's on the street, what will he be called? God of Cricket. You cannot take that away from him. Cannot. But we don't want to chase that. What we want to chase? We want to chase small, little pleasures every day in our life and get lost. We don't want to do the meaningful things in life. This is why this story is very, very important for us. We don't want to do meaningful things in life. They are not for us. They are for the other people out there on the street. Chalo. This you understand, string of girls? Yes or no? I made it very clear. Very, very clear. Chalo.
No, he doesn't.
Le. No, he doesn't. Arey superstar hai bhaiya. He's a footballer. No, he doesn't. So Geoff is going to ask, how do you know? He told me he's lonely. He's alone. He has no friends. अरे भैया कैसे भैया? कुछ तो दिमाग के अंदर दिमाग लाओ, कुछ तो सेंस के अंदर सेंस लाओ. And you laugh, but then that is the idea. You don't, again, here we focus on that only because we are teenagers. What do we have to focus on? Work. What do we need to focus on? Career. What do we need to focus on? That next scholarship. What do we need to focus on? That next university. What do we need to focus on? What are we going to make sure that we don't waste our time for the next 1 month in the summer vacation and we study so that the combined syllabus of 2 years we can do so that we can do well on the entrance exam. That is what we are supposed to think about. All your physics walas and everything, I should not name them, they will all shut down when you go home. You will not even touch them. And yeah, you want to touch them, why? Because it's extra time. Nobody wants to do all of this work. But the person who does this work consistently over a long period of time, even when the rain gods are not supporting, that is when you become the god of cricket. But there are nonsense people who just want to think about people and make stories in their head, in their mind. You will not get successful. Forget about it. Chal.
How could you know that? He jeered. He told me.
He jeered, he shouted loudly, he got angry. Chal.
As if anyone would tell a girl something like that. Yes, he did. He isn't like that. He is quiet.
Oh, he is quiet, he is lonely, he told me. Nobody, no friends. Why? He has the entire football team, the coach, the management. Yes or no? Yes.
Not as quiet as all apparent. Right?
Your report card. Some of you must have done it in the past, maybe, I don't know. You get less marks and you change the marks or you change the sign. All of that can happen because you are afraid, which is not a good thing to do. Chalo.
So then, we just talked about the close in Roy's window. He seemed lonely.
He seemed lonely. Look. Do you think he's a street dog? He roams around in the street, watching at clothes. Will he buy from the local store if he's such a big a star? No. Generally doesn't. Yes or no? If they have to roam around, they will have to hide themselves up. They will wear a cap, they will wear a duplicate mustache, they will wear big sunglasses. Sometimes if they have to go out in the public, they will wear a helmet to show that they are a common person. They will just keep the thing open. That is when they can roam around in the streets. They don't roam around in the streets. And you can't if you become famous. Chalo.
After all, it is a long way from the west of Ireland.
So he has come from the west of Ireland, and because he's come to a new city, he's lonely.
And then, just as he was going, he said, if I would care to meet him, next week he would give me an autograph.
Oh, so now she extended the story, and actually, this is something she did not want Geoff to share with anybody. And what was that? That he will meet her again. What is the other part of the story which is not clear? He will meet her again. And he has also given her a date, time, and venue of the meeting. And this is what she told Geoff. And she was telling Geoff not to tell this to anyone. And she said, I would. This part is hidden or is not very clear. It is here in this line. And that is why she was saying, don't tell anybody, dad would get mad. Arey bhai, dad would believe that you met him once and he said he will meet you again and he will give you a date, time and venue to meet again. Is that even insanely possible? So he knew. But again, what does that bring out about Geoff? He's a very good brother. Very good brother. If Sophie does not have such a brother in her support system, she would get mentally crazy. You know, you have such thoughts, but you also need somebody to vent out this. She's venting out at least. She's not changing, but venting out does not help. That's the same thing. You know, I just ask you those questions. It does not help. You need to work on it. And then if you have genuine questions, your understanding will become better. Chalo.
As if he would ever show.
As if he would ever show up on that date, time and venue. Who is saying this? Geoff. And now she catches all of this and say, you do believe me now, don't you? Arey bhai, he does not believe in you. You are just dragging him in a conversation. Yes or no? Chala.
He dragged his jacket.
Now he got angry. Or he has listened to Sophie enough. So he leaves. Because he cannot speak a word. Because if he allows Sophie to speak too much, then he will share more. Which is, nothing is real. So he gets like a little frustrated over here. Yes or no? If you are a student, if you really want to study, and if somebody comes and bothers you too much and you are really a student, and they are not asking you genuine questions, what will you tell them? Bhai, baad mein aana. Or let's talk about this when we walk for lunch or dinner. But if you are also stupid, you will get carried away. And that is why I keep on telling you in this school that in the classroom, sleeping is better than talking. Because if you sleep, you are just going to spoil your time. But if you talk, and if it becomes a big conversation, you could spoil time of 3, 4, 5, 10, then eventually the entire class. And that is why talking is bad. But in your free time, when you are having a snack, does somebody come and stop you from talking? And wise people don't talk. They do. But that's the problem. Chalo.
Which was shiny and shapeless. From
He dragged this jacket which was shiny and shapeless. Old jacket. Not new. What does a shiny and shapeless mean? Old. Shiny, clean, but shapeless. And she observes all of this. Why? Because he should be wearing what kind of jacket? Giorgio Armani, Dolce & Gabbana, Paul Zilleri. What are these? Prajwal sir is stupid. Prada. Why she thinks like this? Because she thinks of all the big things only. Yes or no? Sure.
From the back of the chair. And put his arm on into it.
Push this arm into it means what? Wore it.
Same is, they get more attention to his opinion.
Low. Why does she think like that? Because everything in her life, she thinks it is a movie. You need to look good. That is more important. You need to look good or you need to do good work. But she always thinks about appearances. Brother is not taking care of her appearance. He should be wearing nicer clothes. પણ તારો બાપુ પૈસા આપવાનો? Sorry for using a foul language. Who is going to get you the money? And that is why Derek said, Derek also knows, little brother, does money grow on trees? She always thinks about that. Yes or no? Yesterday apron. She is washing clothes, my dear friend. You looking at her apron string. It will be dirty. If you want, take the laundry and then put it in the washing machine if you have, or start washing the clothes. You don't want to do that. You just want to give orders. Or not give orders, just talk about silly things. Chalo.
Wish he cared more about you.
Write this down. Why he cared? Why she thinks like this? Again, she thinks about only big things. She thinks about the world in a way to show things off.
He was tall with a strong dark face.
Handsome, she thought. He's a nice man. But he's not paying attention to his costume. Movie, no? She thinks about costumes. In the movie, people change every minute. What is that called? Costume. This is not a costume. This is your clothes. These are your clothes. When you show off, it's a costume. Yes or no? Why they call makeup? Because you are making things up. It is not real. And that is why it is very bad. And so that is why don't look at faces on Instagram and think that these are. I'd seen a video, I won't tell you. They can make up the silliest person into a beautiful person. But all of that is what? Made up. Not real. Real is real. Made up is made up. Chalo.
It is the unlikeliest thing I have ever heard. He said.
Okay, so this is the unlikeliest thing that you met a super football star on the street. He met you, he talked with you, and he didn't have a pen or paper, could not give you an autograph. So he said, he'll meet you again. So we'll stop over here for today.